Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today making my predictions for the third edition of All In. So we'll start things off on the 0 hour with our one match that's currently scheduled to happen on there, where we'll see Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway team up to take on Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale, where the winning team gets to pick the stipulation for the match at All Out. Now the stipulation added that the winning team gets to pick what the Statlander-Nightingale match stipulation would be at All Out. I think this could go either way, but I feel like based on how 0 hour went last year, I think we're going to start with a face win, a happy moment to get the crowd a little bit happy going into the main card, and I think the team of Tomohiro Ishii and Willow Nightingale will be walking away with the win in this one. With Willow Nightingale coming up short of going back-to-back in the Women's Owen after Stokely and Chris Statlander got involved in the match, I think Willow Nightingale gets the upper hand here, gets the win, picks the stipulation for Chicago, and I think she more than likely keeps her CMLL Women's World Championship. So now on to the main card. So we'll start things off with a match for the artist formerly known as the International Championship for the AEW American Championship, where we'll see MJF defend his title against the hometown boy, Will Ospreay. This match seems pretty straightforward to me, and the interaction between Danielson and Ospreay last night on Dynamite pretty much cemented that, where he's telling him to do it. We see that Ospreay's gonna drop MJF on his head, hit with that Tiger Driver to win the American Championship and rechristen it back to its international name. And we know with this that Pac's waiting at All Out for his chance at whoever the champion is, so that's where I think Ospreay obviously will next be heading as the new champion. And for MJF, maybe Daniel Garcia comes back. There's been a lot of conjecture and smoke and talking about what his contractual status is with AEW. I think this kind of frees up MJF for that match to happen, and maybe it could happen in Chicago, Illinois at All Out. So now on to match number 2, and that'll be a three-way for the AEW World Tag Team titles, where the Young Bucks will be putting their championships on the line against FTR and the Acclaimed. Now for me, I could see this match going any way for one of these three teams walking out with the titles, but as I think about it more, I feel like the Acclaim won't be winning the titles, but I don't think they'll be the ones getting pinned here, because they can easily have a match for All Out to where, hey, no one has still pinned us. We still haven't had a clean shot at these tag team titles to where we've lost. And I think that'll be the Young Bucks who will retain the World Tag Team titles here, pinning FTR, kind of getting it back for last year's All In, and they move on to face the Acclaim in Chicago here in a couple weeks. I hope with the Young Bucks retaining the tag team titles here after they get their match with the Acclaim, which I would believe they would keep the tag team titles, but maybe the Acclaim pull the upset in Chicago. That might get the local crowd happy. That we'll see a more injection into the tag team division to where maybe this will be new teams with maybe new people from other places coming in, or just new teams popping up that we haven't seen, like Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, where they beat FTR at Revolution and then weren't a team since Moxley went on to become IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So I can see maybe them coming back together and going for the tag team titles, or we see the guys who have been in the tag team division getting a heavier push like Private Party and Top Flight. But I think the move would be to get an older team, a more established kind of team. Like, I'm okay with Claudio and Moxley going for the tag team titles while Private Party and Top Flight are doing something else to where they're built up to be the guys who will slide in and hopefully take the tag team titles away from the evil EVPs. So now on to match number 3 of the main card. And that'll be for the FTW Championship, where Chris Jericho will be putting his title on the line against Hook. And if Hook loses, he will never get a chance at the FTW title as long as Jericho is still champion. Now for me, we know how I feel going into the match. Please Hook, do whatever it takes and win this match. And I think he will win the championship here, defeating Chris Jericho. I can see it to where Hook wins the FTW title here. I think that there's a slight chance Taz could help and get involved here, because I don't know if Samoa Joe will be back. I know Shibata is in the area. He has a match on Collision this week. So they would need a third person to make the save here to even up things with Big Bill and Brian Keith. And I think Taz let a little thing slip on commentary tonight, like maybe he pops up and does something. He was in the integral beginning part of this feud, which feels like it happened 17 years ago. But I think he could get in there, do a Taz mission, the crowd roars, him and Hook do the moves together. That's how the match ends, and Hook becomes the FTW champion. And then Hook gives the title to Taz, and it's done, to where the FTW title is just no more for right now. And Hook will move on to another title picture. I'd love to see him go into the Continental title picture, because I think those matches with him with that style set would be perfect and be a hell of a thing to see on TV. So for things at Wembley, I think we get a father-son moment to where Hook regains the FTW championship. So now on to our next match. So this match involves a spoiler, so if you don't want to be spoiled for what happens on Saturday on Collision, go skip ahead. But this will be the 4-way London Ladders match for the AEW World Trios Championships, where the Patriarchy are putting their titles on the line against the Bang Bang Gang, the House of Black, and the team of Pac and Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta that I've dubbed the PCC. Now in this match, I'm thinking that we could potentially see the end of Killswitch getting smacked around and talked down to, and I think they could lose the titles here, because I think the Killswitch turn, it's brewing and it's going to happen hopefully soon, because it feels like we've seen at least 13 moments to where like, oh, here it comes, no, and I think All In could be the moment. And I think in this ladder match, I believe we'll have new AEW World Trios champions, and those will be the same guys who had the titles last year going into this show, because I believe the House of Black will become the new champions here in this ladder match. I enjoyed how the House of Black's trios run was going prior to them losing to the Acclaimed at All In last year. And I think them getting these titles back will put them on Collision like they always are. And I think this trios division could be separated from the tag team division, and we'll see the re-injection into the trios division, because we still have Juice and the Guns. We can see maybe the Blackpool Combat Club comes back together and goes for these titles. Maybe whichever team isn't going to be next up in the tag team division, like Top Flight or Private Party, they're going to be in here. Like Private Party and Scorpio Sky had a little thing on Collision last week, so you can do that. And then obviously Top Flight has Action Andretti with them and Leo Rush, so one of those 3-man groups could come into this trios division. So I think there'll be plenty of options in the trios division to see fresh and new matchups with the new heads of the trios division, the House of Black. So now on to our next match. And that'll be for the TBS Championship, where Mercedes Moné will be putting her title on the line against Britt Baker. I really hope this match delivers upon expectations for people and goes above and beyond. And I think when this match is over, Mercedes Moné will be retaining her TBS Championship, defeating the Doctor here at Wembley. For this match, I just don't see the possibility of Mercedes losing. She's a double champ and she's just starting her run. And I think Britt Baker, she's kind of bulletproof in AEW. She could lose and go on to something else. And as we've seen with the Chris Statlander, Willow Nightingale feud and the Thunder Rosa, Deonna Purrazzo feud, there's other feuds you can have in the AEW Women's Division that don't revolve around a Women's Championship. And I think one of those will be in store for Britt Baker after she loses here at All In to the TBS Champion, Mercedes Moné. So now on to match number 7 of the evening. And that'll be for the TNT Championship in a coffin match, where we'll see Jack Perry put his TNT Championship on the line against Darby Allin. Now this match feels more of a toss-up to me than I think most people are thinking. Like, I could see Darby finally losing a coffin match where Jack Perry, he's had the TNT title for a decent little bit here, and I could see him keeping it and going on, keeping this EVP Elite run going. But I believe with Darby having a crack at the World Championship coming up at Grand Slam, I think he'll be defeating Jack Perry to become the new TNT champion. I just think with Darby having a crack at the world title coming up, even if he is the TNT champion, people could see him being a double champion and defending these titles every single week on every single show, because that's just something crazy Darby Allin could do. There's a slight chance I could see where Jack Perry wins and then maybe Darby becomes AEW World Champion in New York, and then this is kind of like the, hey, you lost to me before, I'm going to get a chance at you now, I beat you before then, I'm going to beat you now, and then that's how the match is set up between them. But I think with the reports that Sting may be in town, that he'll get involved and help Darby out, and him and Darby will stand and win again at Wembley Stadium, with this time Darby becoming the new TNT champion, and potentially we could see a coffin be lit on fire too. So our next match is match number 8, and that'll be the Casino Gauntlet match. The current entry list that we know of for this Casino Gauntlet match are Orange Cassidy, who will be starting the match at number 1, Mark Briscoe, Kyle O'Reilly, Hangman Adam Page, and Evil Uno, with 16 more people waiting in the wings hoping that their number could be called. So this match all comes down to 3 people, and why I think those 3 people people, who I think those 3 people could be and why I think those 3 people could win are obviously Hangman Page seems like the odds-on favorite here. It could potentially be the pick that I'm going to go with. I could see him challenging either of the people who win in the main event, whether that be Swerve or Bryan. If Swerve's still champion, obviously those two just want to kill each other. If Bryan's champion, it's a rematch of the Owen final. That's where you can build into this. There's the Jeff Jarrett stuff. Very easy story to tell. The other person I could think could win this is Kazuchika Okada. If Okada wins, Swerve versus Okada for the World Championship, that's a EVP versus AEW story continuing. Bryan and Okada, they've had 2 matches before. It's tied up at 1. That could be the rubber match. Now, the third person I could see winning this match is potentially just a lopsided one and could telegraph what the main event could do, and that would be Nigel McGuinness winning this. So obviously Nigel has been going after Bryan on commentary for it feels like a decade now, and that would just pretty much telegraph how this show is going to end, and that's why I think it's a long shot, because I don't think you would do that, because you're basically telling everyone, hey, Bryan Danielson's about to walk out as AEW World Champion here. So for my pick, I think the one that works and keeps the main event still in doubt for people would be if Hangman Adam Page walks out the winner of the Casino Gauntlet. I feel like most people would think if Hangman does win this, like, oh, Swerve's winning, and I think that's kind of a good thing, because then if Bryan does pull off the upset and wins, bang, those people are surprised, and then you can tell it like, hey, Bryan won the world title. The only reason you had that chance at the World Championship was because you beat me in the Owen final, and now I'm gonna get it back and take the title, and I can keep it away from Swerve forever. It's just a very easy story to tell, and I think there's many ways things you can weave into this, with Hangman being the next man up for the AEW World Championship. So now on to our co-main event of the evening. This will also be the short hype video for the pay-per-view that'll be up tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and this will be for the AEW World Women's Championship, where Timeless Toni Storm will be putting her title on the line against Mariah May. This match feels like the moment for me to where I think the reign of the Timeless one will be going up, as Toni Storm will be losing here and Mariah May will become the new AEW Women's Champion. I just think after this long story of Mariah's debut and all the things she's done leading to this moment, I think her defeating Toni Storm is definitely the move, and it seems like that's how everyone's thinking, and I see that as how this match ends. I think we'll get some teacher-student moves where it's like, I didn't teach you everything I knew, I didn't show you everything I knew kind of movement here, and I think these two will beat the holy hell out of each other, especially after the blood, how this all started, when Mariah May won the Women's Owen, and then clocked Toni Storm with the belt, and then busted her open with the shoe, and I think this will be a drag-em-out brawl between these two, where we're seeing stiff shots and even more crazy moves, and I think we'll be seeing Mariah May walk out the new Women's Champion. So now on to our main event of the evening, the final countdown, where we'll see Swerve Strickland defend his AEW World Championship against the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and if Bryan loses, he will never wrestle again. Now this is a match to where all bets are off, I feel like, a little bit, because I could see Bryan losing and this being it. He's talking about his neck being jacked up and he's got to get that fixed, got to get surgery and all that. And I can also see him, we've seen it before, he's never won the big match. He's never won a title here in AEW. Technically, the only title he's won is the Owen Hart title belt that you get with the trophy as well. So maybe that's just the only title we ever see him with in AEW. But I'm not believing this guy. I saw people say the reverse Montreal Screwjob to where Swerve just lays there and Bryan wins. But I think regardless of how it's done, I think Bryan Danielson will become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion here at Wembley Stadium. I think just the moment of Europe blaring in Europe with the final countdown going at full song, people yesing in Wembley Stadium, I think it'll be such a cool visual, kind of harken back to WrestleMania 30. It'll be something to see, and I think that's what you do here. And then for everyone else, if Hangman does win the gauntlet, he doesn't have to challenge for the title at all out. It's just a whenever one. There's no event attached to it as I'm recording this, so that can be pushed off. Swerve and him can have the match at all out. That could be their blow him up, beat the hell out of each other, I'll see you down the road kind of deal. That's where that can go. I think Bryan is eventually just going to lose the title back to Swerve, or maybe lose it in some kind of three-way with Darby Allin at Wrestle Dream in Tacoma, Washington, and then Bryan could disappear, get something fixed, get whatever he needs fixed, all done, all like 800 things that are probably wrong with him right now, and then he'll come back and do his sporadic matches here and there, since he'll be done as a full-time wrestler after his brief title reign comes to an end. So that'll do it for my predictions for the 2024 edition of All In. Please come back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern for the short on the Tony Storm Mariah May match. That'll be up 9 a.m. Eastern, like I just said. Also, Boise State Broncos shorts for the online Dynasty I'm in will be up. Those will be uploaded on Saturday and Tuesday. Those will be the only shorts coming up on that day. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll be up. They'll be mixed in with the Madden shorts that'll be coming up, as that has just started. So the Madden shorts will be coming out too. Those will be up on their own, or they'll be the only thing uploaded on Sunday and Monday, and then they'll be on the rest of the week mixed in with the college shorts. So come back if you want to see those. Leave your thoughts on what you think we'll be seeing at All In the comments section below. Leave a like on this video, and if you want to see more and be kept up to date, hit that subscribe button. And come back for the next 2 weeks, since we'll have Bash of Berlin predictions next week, and then we'll have All Out predictions the week after. And as always, thanks for watching.